My name is Rick, a 29-year-old guy who found himself entangled in a whirlwind of emotions and unexpected revelations with my ex-girlfriend, Taylor, 27.
Our story began in an organization where we both attended a job interview.
Taylor, with her captivating humor and lively demeanor, struck up a conversation with me. Though I didn't secure the job, she did, and our connection grew stronger as she generously shared interview tips. As time passed, our friendship deepened, and against my own intentions, I fell in love with her. What initially began as a mere exchange of contact information turned into a blossoming romance.
We shared career aspirations and enjoyed each other's company. After dating for almost 3 years, Taylor dropped a bombshell that shattered our relationship. While we were living together for a year, Taylor expressed her desire to move back in with her best friend. She claimed that since we would eventually live together after marriage, she wanted to spend her premarital days with her friend. I respected her wishes and allowed her the space she sought. Taylor would spend weekends with me and occasionally stay over, creating a complex arrangement between my place and her friends. Despite the unconventional living situation, we appeared to be a dynamic couple. Our bond was evident to those around us, even without explicitly disclosing our relationship. I had previously experienced a painful breakup and sworn off serious commitments, but Taylor's presence changed everything. I became her pillar of support, motivating her to chase her dreams and investing myself wholeheartedly in our relationship. During the second year, I realized Taylor was the woman I wanted to marry. She ticked all the boxes: caring, loving, and adept at nurturing our relationship. We shared bills and responsibilities when we lived together, but this shifted when Taylor began shuffling between our places. As she moved back and forth, the shared expenses dwindled. My devotion to Taylor was unwavering. I celebrated her anniversaries and birthdays with thoughtful gifts, always striving to keep her content. My sacrifices weren't born out of desperation, but a genuine desire for our relationship to thrive in happiness and harmony. I cherished our time together and envisioned a lasting partnership. Then, one evening while watching a movie, Taylor broached the topic of open relationships out of nowhere. This unexpected question left me puzzled and bewildered. Little did I know that this inquiry was a precursor to an even greater revelation. It was a devastating blow when I uncovered the truth: Taylor was cheating on me. The open relationship query now made sense in the context of her infidelity. My world shattered, and the foundation of trust that we had built crumbled. The person I had invested so much in had been dishonest, seeking solace and intimacy elsewhere while I remained oblivious. My ex-girlfriend Taylor, whom I had supported wholeheartedly, shattered my trust through her infidelity. The heartbreaking discovery forced me to re-evaluate the love I had believed in and move forward, learning to rebuild my life and trust in a new beginning. In my journey with Taylor, an incident about open relationships sparked an unexpected turn. During a casual conversation, I lightly suggested that people in open relationships might not truly be in love. Taylor took offense, passionately defending the idea that love could thrive in such dynamics. Though I thought her viewpoint seemed outdated, I changed the subject to avoid friction. Another day, as we shared dinner, Taylor dropped a bombshell. She asked how I felt about us having an open relationship. Initially assuming she was joking, her earnest expression made it clear she was serious. I promptly voiced my discomfort, expressing my preference for singleness over an open relationship. After that, the topic was dropped, and I moved on, not dwelling on the idea. From the outset of our relationship, I emphasized my disdain for infidelity due to the wounds of past heartbreak. I assured Taylor that I wouldn't forgive cheating, wanting to safeguard my heart from further pain. This commitment also influenced my efforts to prevent any missteps from my end. As Taylor moved out of my place, her behavior shifted. She began standing me up on our weekly Friday evening outings, even though we had established this tradition. Her excuses often revolved around work-related urgencies. Despite the inconvenience, I remained understanding, encouraging her to reduce her workload. Time passed, and Taylor's promotion consumed more of her time. Our physical and emotional distance grew, making it feel like a long-distance relationship even though we lived in the same town. Communication dwindled to sporadic WhatsApp messages, with her often ignoring my texts. While I should have realized something was amiss, I attributed it to her demanding job.
Eventually, I confronted Taylor about our growing disconnect, but her explanations seemed insincere.
Her promise to improve led to temporary progress, but it wasn't long-lasting.
Amidst her changes, I decided it was time to propose. However, when the moment arrived, an inner voice held me back, and I couldn't bring myself to propose, despite carrying an expensive engagement ring. The weekend Taylor and I were supposed to bond further. She fell asleep during our movie night. This seemingly mundane occurrence mirrored the widening gap between us. Our connection was slipping through our fingers as Taylor's career soared and her presence in my life dwindled. In this tale of uncertainty and fading love, the notion of open relationships served as an unexpected catalyst for reflection. Taylor's plea for understanding led to my doubt, and the increasing distance between us made our struggles apparent. Amidst all this, the question of proposing weighed on my mind, but a profound sense of hesitation persisted, hinting at the uncertainties ahead. Noticing Taylor's exhaustion since she arrived at my place, I guided her to bed, driven by concern. Afterward, I resumed watching our movie and noticed her phone stuck in the couch, which I retrieved. Despite a nagging curiosity to look through her phone, I resisted. In the early days of our relationship, transparency was the norm, granting access to each other's phones. However, my desire not to be nosy warred with my inquisitiveness. Eventually, curiosity won. Gaining entry through her fingerprint, I was left stunned by what I discovered. I began by checking her call log, not to spy, but to gauge her connections beyond me and her best friend. An unknown entry labeled Daddy aroused suspicion, given her late father and distant family connections. Realizing it wasn't my number either, as mine was saved with my name, I grew perplexed. Upon examination, I noted Taylor had conversed with Daddy 3 times that day, including moments before arriving at my place. To satisfy my curiosity, I ventured into her WhatsApp messages. Astonishingly, their conversation was at the forefront, featuring unread messages from Daddy. Reading the exchanges, I sensed something was amiss due to their odd use of emojis. I chose to read from the beginning, discovering the shocking truth that Taylor was in a relationship with her boss. This affair had begun around the time she inquired about open relationships. The revelations continued, revealing Taylor's abortion for her boss and financial compensation, including a promotion. My heart ached reading their conversations, including unkind remarks about me. I soon discovered it was Taylor's father who encouraged her to spend weekends with me. He proposed this idea to quell his own family issues, wanting her occupied so he could manage his double life. Stuck on the couch, grappling with my emotions, I brainstormed ways to confront her. Despite impulsive ideas, I chose against them, recognizing my anger issues could lead to trouble. I opted for a walk to clear my head and devise a plan. Prior to leaving, I backed up their entire chat and sent it to myself, leaving their last messages as unread. The weekend passed with me maintaining a facade of normalcy. Taylor departed on Sunday evening, unaware of the brewing storm. The following week, I headed to her corporate office on Tuesday, determined to address the matter. Asked to wait for her, I shared printed copies of Taylor and her boss's chat with others. People were shocked, some even said they had sensed something was off. Taylor arrived, confused by the scene. I handed her a copy, and as she read, she reacted angrily, realizing her job could be at risk. She tried to explain, but I left. At home, she came begging without shoes, creating a scene. Her best friend intervened, packing her things. Taylor's relentless calls and pleas followed, but I'm torn. Despite love, I won't take her back. A meeting is set, yet confusion reigns. Memories linger.